Welcome to tonight's Facebook and Instagram Live. I'm Christine Daal from Fashion and Jewelry, and I'm super excited because tonight's episode number 46, we are doing an interview with our influencer marketing coach, Adelaide Freeman. I'm super excited to have her here.
Hello, everyone.
And she's going to tell you all about herself and what she does and how she can help all of you. Hi, everyone. How you doing? Don't forget to share this video. We are doing our sharing contest. So if you share the most videos from episode 40 to episode 50, so this is episode 46, you'll actually win a free online course. And if you tag someone, you'll actually get a double entry. So don't forget to share. Give us your hearts, give us your thumbs up, give us your likes. We love hearing from you guys. If you do have comments and questions, definitely ask your questions at the end so that we can be sure to answer them for you. Hi everyone. Hi Kim, how are you? Nice to see you on. So we're gonna get started. So I am super excited to have Adelaide Freeman here. She is the owner and founder of Twillo Events, and she's our new influencer marketing coach, expert in brand ambassadors and influencer marketing. So thank you so much, Adelaide, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to talk about my background and my services. I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. So tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this whole thing.
Oh, of course. So, you know, there's always comedy in life, and it always happens the way you least expect it. So I originally started off in fashion. I was a designer, evening wear designer. And while I was there, I ended up meeting a friend of mine, or I ended up meeting this girl that ended up becoming very close friends with me. And long story short, we actually both got let go. We both lost our jobs 2 weeks apart.
Oh my gosh.
And we were in completely different departments.
Right.
And misery loves company. And so it is true. It is true. So I was, you know, we got together, we tried to figure out like what's going on, what's our direction here. And I started going to a bunch of events with her. Long story short, figured out that she's actually an influencer herself. And she always had the dream of becoming a full-time influencer. So I would go to her, I would go with her to all these events, and I actually noticed I started acting as her agent on her behalf, going to events, and making connections with brands, and reaching out on her behalf. Yeah. And then being the middleman between point A, point B, the influencer and the brand, and connecting the two, and both parties are benefited in the process. And now it's a full-fledged business.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. That's so awesome. And so talk a little bit about influencer marketing, just in case anyone doesn't know exactly what it is.
Absolutely. So influencer marketing, it's all about, it's not only is the most cost-effective and efficient way to market, but it's a very non-traditional way to market a product. And it can be, it's not just in fashion now, it can be in all types of industries. Right. But basically what we've learned is that word of mouth has a much higher weight than actual, if you're driving down the street or driving down the road and you see a massive billboard
or a magazine ad or something like that.
And so now influencer marketing is basically influencers, everyday people like you and me, getting on their social platforms and really promoting different products. But the way they promote it is they promote it very authentic and seamless. You know, this is my favorite skincare line. You know, I've used it every single day for the past 30 days and I've seen great results. Or this is, you know, basically just giving their recommendations to their friends.
Right. And I love the fact that it is very subtle and it's not like very promo-y or very advertising kind of looking.
It's very authentic. It's very, it's just, it's almost like we just use the social platforms to really speak about the benefits of these products, these industries we've seen great success in our own lives.
Right. And it's interesting because I recently read an article that said the top 3 social media trends for 2018 were going to be Facebook ads, bots, and influencer marketing.
Absolutely.
So I totally 100% agree. If you're not doing Facebook ads, especially, and influencer marketing, bots is a whole other story. We'll get into that later, but you definitely need to be doing those things for sure. So how do you find these influencers that you work with?
Well, it's, at first, I'll be very transparent here. At first, it was a lot of hustling, going to a bunch of events, getting involved in a lot of influencer pods, meeting these influencers, and making real personal connections.
Right.
You know, through the networking. Yeah. It's a simple way of networking.
The old school way.
The old school way. The old school way way of networking. Now it's more, it's that, but also I've built a massive deck of reaching out to influencers via just the normal private message on the DM, on Instagram. We're on Facebook as well. And then always setting up phone calls to have that personal connection.
So that's interesting, because one of our listeners, Lana Dean, wanted to know what's the best way to reach out to an influencer. Should I reach out to them on Instagram, or is email better? And you've been doing well with Instagram.
I would say Instagram first. Instagram first.
So private message then.
Well, actually, it's comical, because what I've done is I've done both. So if they don't, I first respond Instagram.
Okay.
And then if they don't respond via Instagram, then I go to email.
Okay.
So I do both.
Okay.
So there's nothing wrong with knocking on someone's door multiple times.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's good to know. And then how are these influencers typically paid? I've heard of people being paid a flat fee for doing a post, or being paid a commission for sales. Like, what is there a typical, or is there a certain method that you prefer, or?
You know, originally when it started, influencers were only paid with gifting products, gifting garments.
You would get it for free.
Exactly.
Right.
Now, influencer marketing is massive and it's blown up. So now influencers actually expect to be paid a flat fee. So per post, sometimes they'll do packages for the brand, where they'll do one static post, a couple Insta stories, maybe a video, all in a package, or they do a blog post with a Facebook, with an Instagram, and a YouTube all together.
Wow.
So, yep. Okay. So, but exactly, it's now influencers are expected to be they expect the brand to compensate them in some way.
Especially if they have a certain number of followers.
Exactly.
Because they feel like I've built up this brand, I've built up this following, I deserve to be paid for the time and effort I've put into it.
Absolutely.
And is there a way to check if their followers are real or not?
Okay, so there is a way. This is my little secret that I don't mind sharing at all.
I want to hear.
The way I tell is there's multiple ways. The first way is if you see and this is just from experience of dealing with Instagram for hours and hours on end. If you see that they have a very strong following, but their likes are very, very low, then you notice that there's something off.
Okay. Then
that's the quickest way to find out. Then if you start to, my specialty is I vet and really spend time interviewing these influencers. And I've always asked them, I need to see your analytics. I need to see your overall analytics from the past 7 days. Then that's one way to measure. Then if they have a really strong following, but their reach or their impressions are a little bit lower, then that's when I go in and I ask, okay, so I've noticed that you've been posting consistently for the past 7 days, but you have very, very, very low reach, very low impressions. Now, however, a lot of times there can be sometimes influencers that only post maybe once or twice in the past 7 days.
Right.
And then they're going to have a much lower reach and impressions.
Right.
Which makes sense.
And so, because that adds up, right?
And then the last way I tell is I always ask to see their demographic, their follower demographics. And if the majority of their follower demographics is actually not in the United States or Europe and in small random countries, then it doesn't necessarily mean you can't jump to that conclusion right away. Right. But then that's where you have to further explore and ask. So to wrap up, there's multiple ways to tell and to judge whether these are correct, authentic or not.
Followers.
Exactly.
That's interesting. I never thought about the country thing.
Oh yeah, because a lot of times when you pay for your followers, the countries come from small,
like not the typical.
Exactly.
Countries. Okay.
Exactly.
Interesting. So very good tips to know. And then maybe you can talk a little bit about what's the difference between a micro influencer and a macro influencer. I know you primarily like to work more with the micro.
Exactly. I will say, everyone, I like to say that influencer marketing is still the wild, wild west. There's not, and that's why I love, that's what attracts me to this world, is that there's not necessarily set industry standards or set rules.
Right.
So everyone has their own definition of what they consider a micro, what they consider a macro. My personal definition is a micro influencer is anywhere from 10,000 followers all the way up to 100,000 followers, 100K.
Okay.
And then, or I would say 100 to 150, and then from 150 and beyond would be a macro.
Okay.
But but then there's plenty of people that I've spoken with, and plenty of brands as well that say, oh, a macro starts at 150K.
Right.
I'm sorry, not a macro. A micro starts at 150K. Micro influencer. So.
But see, I would have said more like what you said.
Yeah.
10,000, 50,000, like that's
micro.
Well,
that's my sweet spot. So
yeah. And why do you prefer to work with the micro?
Well, micro influencers have extremely targeted followers, and the beauty of it all is that they tend to be, you get more bang for your buck if you work with a package of micro influencers. And a lot of times these micro influencers are not only very cost effective, but they have a lot of times they actually have just as strong reach and impressions as some of these macro influencers.
Right.
At the end of the day, we really want to focus on high engagement, strong reach, and strong impressions.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think the micro influencers have way more engagement and are more likely, people feel more likely to believe what it is that they're promoting. You know, if Kim Kardashian is posting something on Instagram, people know how much she's getting paid. It's like it doesn't even matter anymore at that point.
It doesn't even matter. Exactly.
So it's like you're wasting your money. But Joe Schmo, who no one even has heard of, but happens to have 80,000 followers on Instagram, I think it's more believable.
You know, and it's also fascinating too, excuse me for interrupting, but there's a study that's been shown that especially with the millennials, that we are seeing these micro influencers that we're following on Instagram, on Facebook, and they will come out and flat out say #ad.
Right.
And they will say it's an ad, which is great because it's all transparency. They're required to.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. They're required to. But if a micro influencer says ad, we are completely fine with that, and we're like appreciate and respect the fact that they're being super authentic and real.
It's true.
But we still believe this is an excellent quality garment line or fashion line, but if a macro comes out and says #ad, then we roll our eyes.
Right.
We don't.
That's so true. It's true.
It's true.
Now that I think about it, it's true. I've done it. I've definitely done it.
So with micro #ad, we're just like, wow, thanks for being so authentic. Thanks for being so real. But with macro, we just roll our eyes.
Yeah, that's so true.
Because we know they're getting paid
a gazillion dollars.
Rent money. Yes.
Yeah. Rent money. And then how do you actually decide which influencers to work with? Like, is there specific things that you look for?
Well, what I always do is I always start with the brand, and I ask the brand exactly from the beginning, what is the exact metrics that you're measuring for success of this campaign? And then I ask that question, and then I ask, tell me about your target market, your target audience, your target woman. And from there, then I go to find these influencers to beautifully align with the ultimate goals of the client.
Which is why it's super important that you know who your target customer is. You guys know I drill that into your head all the time. So definitely make sure that you know exactly who that target customer of yours is. We do have a question from Shop Bumble Baby. What is the typical wait period for building? Hold on one second. I can't read your thing. Oh, for sending a DM. Typical wait period for sending a DM to emailing if there's no response.
Oh, that's a funny question. And the reason why I say it's a funny question is because I used to have set standards. I would wait. I used to be like almost like even as comical as like, dating, texting a guy. Like we have to wait 3 days.
The 3-day rule.
Like it's like the 3-day rule. Like if I don't hear from him in 3 days, then I'm allowed. I give myself grace to reach out to him.
Right.
To heck with it all. No, absolutely. If I don't, especially if I have if my client is putting pressure on me to get this campaign up and running, and I think this is an excellent influencer with strong reach, strong engagements, all the requirements, checks the box that I'm looking for, I will DM them. If I don't hear from them in a day, then I will email them. Okay. And then I will email them the next day, and then I will DM the next day. Persistence is key, and I think a lot of times we think we're being annoying. We're really not being annoying. It's called being proactive. There's a difference. So
yeah, it's true, and a lot of people are just so busy.
Exactly,
so busy.
And it's not a personal thing.
It's not like they're ignoring you on purpose.
Yeah,
they're literally just probably swamped, and they probably got a million DMs that day, and they skipped over yours or got lost in the bunch.
And one tip that I actually have a life coach, and he my executive life coach told me is you got to get to a no. That's it. You got it. And it's no big deal. Okay, so they say, nope, sorry, I don't want to do this campaign. No big deal. Next.
Right.
No big deal. And that's the attitude that you have to have.
Yeah. So. Which is a great attitude to have when you're contacting buyers as well. Because if they're not getting back to you, you want to keep harassing them and keep on them until they say yes or no.
The goal
yes
is
or no.
yes or no.
See
not maybe. You don't want maybe.
Right.
You don't want to be dating someone that's maybe. You want yes or no.
Yeah.
All in.
Exactly.
Or all
I
in.
love it. I love it. Okay. So, how do you measure the results? We talk about ROI. Everyone's always talking about how do you measure ROI with influencer marketing. Do you have certain metrics that you've set up in your company? Talk about that a little bit.
Well, so, one thing the client always wants to know is, 9 times out of 10, the client, and when I mean the client, I'm talking about the brand always is asking, we are sales driven. Right. And then I ask them, okay, well, if you're sales driven, give me a number. Give me a number of how many sales that you would like to see, ideally, from the end of this campaign. They never can give me a number. They never give me a number. They're just, we want sales.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's fine. So one thing I do to really measure is I have, I place each influencer will have a unique Bit.ly link.
Okay.
And so I'm always keeping track of the number of clicks to the website.
Okay.
And it's two. It's the swipe up, as we know, the swipe up can direct traffic to the website. I measure that, and then also the link in the bio, and I measure that as well. So I give that data at the end, the clicks to the website. Then I also give, the total overall reach from the entire campaign, the total overall impressions from the campaign, the likes, the comments, and then another metrics I do is I also measure how many email addresses were achieved from giveaways, which we can touch on later if you guys have questions about the importance of giveaways. But the amount of emails, give that number, and then also the final is the overall what was their personal account, their Instagram, what was their following, and then from my influencer campaign, how much did their
grow?
Exactly.
Right. So not only could you potentially get sales, but you're also potentially going to get an increase in following in your own Instagram account.
An increase in following in your own Instagram. Absolutely. Yeah. And email addresses, which is so important.
Yes.
To get that very targeted marketing email address, and this database is extremely valuable. Yeah, it's hard to put even an amount on a dollar amount on getting them.
I agree. I tell people, especially my clients, I say emails are like gold. You really can't put a price tag on it. And still, people are saying email marketing is still 40 times as effective as social media. So.
And then absolutely, and I believe it. And so why not? Yeah, exactly. Why not do these giveaways to receive email addresses?
Yeah. So talk a little bit about what a giveaway is in case someone doesn't know what you're talking about.
Oh, of course. Giveaways are super straightforward, and more brands are really starting to realize the massive value that comes from giveaways. So what I'll do is I'll have an influencer will either get on Instagram, Insta stories,
right,
or even sometimes Facebook Live, Instagram Live as well, and just announce to their followers, hey guys, I'm actually I'm doing this partnership with brand A, brand B, brand X, and we're doing a giveaway, and so we're going to give you a garment or an outerwear jacket, or valued at retail X amount of dollars.
Right.
And the way you're able to win is you have to private message me your email address, your personal email address, and B, follow me and follow the brand, at brand B or brand A, whatever, in order a chance to win, and then we will announce the winner at the end of the 7-day period.
So you're asking for the email address also, because usually I've seen follow me, follow the brand.
No, email address, and follow me. Especially, you can get away with it when you are giving away a pretty nice price tagged item.
Right.
Like, I mean, I'm talking this is a higher value item. Right. Then you have to give an email address, and you have to follow the Instagram or the Facebook.
Good.
So
that's really good to know. Interesting. So why is it necessary for businesses to have influencers?
Well,
influencer marketing.
Kind of what I touched on earlier. You need a brand advocate. And when I mean you, I'm talking about the brand, the creative director, the head. you don't have enough time and energy. We're human in a day to go and knock on all these doors and to promote your product and to promote your brand and to speak about your brand story, your brand message. We all have unique brand stories. And so you need a brand advocate. You need someone that is pushing you forward. And so I say, you're hurting yourself if you don't have a brand advocate, a tastemaker, an influencer to really promote and get behind your brand.
It's
hurting
hard.
you. It's hurting you.
Yeah, it's so hard to drive traffic to your online store that it just makes it 10 times easier when you have a high level influencer. If you're just starting out on Instagram, you don't have that many followers yet, like you need something to get things going and to get it going fast. So I definitely agree with it 100%, which is why we brought Adelaide on as our influencer marketing coach so that she can start working with all of you and helping all of you grow your following and your business. So when is a good time for a startup to start working with an influencer? Is it good in the very, very beginning, or should they wait until they have like 500 followers? Like what if they're just starting out? Obviously they need to have a website.
I would say website. I would say
as soon as they have a website.
Believe it or not, just a website. And I've worked with, and you know, the beauty of my company is that I will work with, and I will tailor my packages, I will tailor my proposals to the client. So, and we're really transparent, we're really open here. So the client will tell me, hey Adelaide, this is what I have budget-wise to spend. And I'll be like, okay, that's completely fine. I understand. I appreciate you telling me what your budget, your set-aside budget is. I'm going to do my very best to give you the most bang for your buck and to put together a package of influencers that are really going to push you forward. A lot of times you're going to notice, and I've noticed this as well, is that a lot of startups get a little bit cold feet or turned off by wanting to work with influencer agencies because they notice that influencer agencies have these massive minimums that you have to work. Like, you don't even consider me if you're not willing to put at least $10,000 down for a campaign.
Right.
A lot of these smaller brands are worried, are like, you know, down the road I can put 10K down, but I can't put 10K down right now. I have to take that 10K and put it in other areas. So yeah, there's plenty of agents, there's plenty of me's out there, but there's very few of me that is willing to work with a conservative budget.
Which is one of the reasons I wanted to partner with Adelaide, because she's worked with high-level brands like NBC and Garnier and all these really high, you know, I'm sure their marketing budgets are huge. But yet you're also willing to work with startups. And I think that's so important. And she has a very special deal for all Fashion Angel Warrior clients. So you can definitely contact her. Her email address is adelaide@fashionangelwarrior.com. I put that in the bio on Facebook so you can contact her. So let's take some questions from the audience, because I saw some. If you commented on Instagram, you'll have to resend me your question because it's already been scrolling through. But Daniela Jacques wants to know, are there any problems you recommend or any platforms you recommend for influencers and brands to get in touch with each other? Like apps, specific examples. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, but I don't want to tell you because then you're going to go work on this.
You have to hire her. That's why. Because then you're going to go, and I'll just add to that too.
I mean, I will tell you.
No, it's okay. I'll add to that too. I've looked at some of those influencer marketing apps and different things where you can supposedly find your perfect match. It takes hours of time. Like, literally, you're doing all the legwork yourself. You have to go vet the brand yourself, interview them, find out if they're going to be good for your brand. That takes so much of your crucial time that you need to be spending on your line, which is why hiring somebody like Adelaide is perfect, because she's already done all that legwork for you. So I don't recommend doing it the do-it-yourself method.
Well, and I will say the do-it-yourself method, one thing about it though is that I have personally noticed from my past experience that the beauty of working with me though is because I've actually had personal relationships with my influencers, and I'm constantly in contact every single day with all of my influencers, and they're giving me feedback and I'm giving them feedback, and you don't have that personal touch on platform.
Exactly.
And so it's just an influencer is thrown at you, and you really don't know at the end of the day, you don't have like a consultant, someone like me, to be like, this influencer really is going to drive your ultimate goal home or not. It's kind of like a shot in the dark.
Yeah. So. And you're not going to know what to look for. Like, yeah, she mentioned it, but to really know what the numbers should be, like, that takes experience. You know, somebody like her that has that experience. So we don't recommend it. Okay. Oh, Shop by Bumblebee. Shop Bumble Baby, sorry. Please explain the term impressions. Okay, basically that's her question.
Oh, okay.
What is impressions?
But there's more that, is that it just
it
all
was
it was?
used when you spoke about analytics and mentioning results. Please define what you mean by impressions.
Okay, so I would say that impressions is the number of times that a post, that a video was actually engaged with. So a lot of times impressions can have a higher number than the actual reach. So the impressions can be a larger number than reach. And that's because someone could have either saved it, commented, or liked it. You know what I mean by actually save the post. So it's the number of times one individual actually interacted with the post.
It's like interactions more. And if you
interactions.
If you look on Instagram in your analytics section, you'll see all of the breakdown of all of these things. All right, other questions we have. Daniela, I'm not sure of your question. Or do you get also influencers in touch with the brand or only the other way around? Influencers in touch with the brand. I think...
Well, I mean, maybe this is answering your question. Tell me, correct me if it's, if it's not answering your question. But yes, I am going to get the influencer in touch with the brand, but I'm the middleman. So the influencer is contacting me directly, and the brand is contacting me directly. And so I'm never going to just be like, okay, so here's the influencer's phone number, here's the brand's phone number, y'all go at it. I'm gonna go do my laundry. No, it doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? Right. I am monitoring every step of the process. Right. And you need someone. Also, another thing too, though, that you don't have with the platform necessarily is that the reality is millennials, not all the time, but millennials can be really flaky.
Yes.
Really. I can't tell you how many times I have had a client that is paying me big money, top dollar. I find them some of my best influencers. I send them contracts. They read over all the contracts. Yeah. They sign the dotted line. They know everything that is required of them. And then about an hour before that they're required to post, something comes up. Oh, sorry, I couldn't get to it. I was busy. Then it is my job. It is not the brand's job. It is not your job. It is my job to find a replacement and in time and immediately. And I can't tell you, that happens to me every single campaign. Every single campaign I get someone flaky because life happens. I'm dealing with real people. I'm not dealing with robots.
And actually, I've had that happen several times to me. And what you're saying about time being so important, like I'll be promoting a webinar I have the very next day. Like it needs to be promoted that day at that time for a specific reason.
Absolutely.
Because of what I'm actually promoting. So it's not like, oh, well, they just forgot to post it. No big deal. It's like a lot of times these things are time sensitive and have to be done within a certain time period to be able to measure the analytics properly and the ROI properly, and even just for whatever it is you're promoting.
And you can't just promote a post at any time of the day. You have to promote it only when at peak time when your followers have the highest engagement.
Followers are and where you're located in the world.
And so then that's what I do. That's another thing I jump in is that when I'm interviewing these influencers, before I even onboard them with my agency, I tell them, tell me Monday through Friday, every single day. Monday, when is the highest engagement? Tuesday, when is the highest engagement? I write that down. I have that in my file with each influencer. And so then when I onboard them to a campaign and they don't post when they've told me was their highest engagement, then it's on me and it looks bad on me. It's and so that's the person. Right. That's where I have to come and I have to stay on top of them. You said that you're going to post at 6 p.m. CS Central Time. Why did you not post at 6 p.m. Central Time? Why is it just now midnight and you're just not getting around to the Insta stories?
Right. So yeah, that's so true. Okay. Keep the questions coming. Okay, Veronique, does it have to be local I'm in Montreal. Would it be a good way to test the U.S. market?
Oh, absolutely. It does not have to be local at all. And my influencers are, yeah, to be very honest, they're all over the U.S. and all over Canada. But yeah, I don't tend to work with influencers anywhere else but U.S. and Canada. So absolutely, yeah. But
it's also possible that even as a U.S. influencer, most of your followers could be in another country.
Well, and that's true. And so that's why every single one of my influencers, I know exactly where their follower demographics are. I know majority. You can tell me right now, hey Adelaide, I've noticed you've worked with influencer X. What is their demographics? And I can tell you immediately their follower demographics is majority of their followers are in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey.
Right. So Veronique, it would just be important for you to tell Adelaide who you're looking to target. Are you looking to target people in Montreal? Are you looking to target people in the U.S.? Exactly. What cities in the U.S.? What states? That sort of thing.
Exactly.
So that would be really important to tell her. All right. Any other questions? We have some more time. Okay. Jeanne, am I saying your name right? I'm sorry if I'm not saying your name right. I'm in menswear. Could you share a bit on the types of brands and influencers, apparel, beauty, etc. that you work with? I'm curious about the proportion or share of menswear influencers and brands respectively.
I'm going to be honest, that will take a while. Can I just give you my website and you just check it out there?
Yes.
You could see all the clients, and I can even shoot you over my one-pager if you'd like as well, and you can see case studies as well. But if I went through all the brands right now, it would
take a long time.
It would take a while.
Yeah. So just go to twilloevents.com, TWILLOEVENTS.
Yes.
.com.
Correct. Exactly.
And you can also email Adelaide at adelaide@fashionangelwarrior.com. Great question, though. All right. Any other questions? He said thanks.
No, of course.
Hey, So Chic Petite. Nice to see you on. Loving that all you guys are on right now. Okay, so we're going to wrap up with Adelaide. Again, if you do want to reach out to her, if you're interested in working with her and her influencers, definitely reach out. It's adelaide@fashionangelwarrior.com. She's got some great packages set up just for Fashion Angel Warrior clients, so make sure you mention her name when you do reach out. Anything else you want to mention? Your Instagram, your Facebook, how people can follow you?
Yeah, follow me, Twillo Events, on Instagram and Facebook. So
cool, awesome. So also a couple announcements. Our Fashion Startup Intensive enrollment is open. This is the last class for the year. We only have 3 spots left, so make sure that you sign up if you're interested in taking it. Our next New York City tour is going to be May 31st. The early bird is already sold out. There's only 4 spots left, so if you're interested in coming on a manufacturing tour of New York City Garment District, definitely take advantage of that. Don't forget to share this video. Our sharing contest is going on. So you want to share and tag all of your favorite fashionpreneurs. And next week our Facebook Live will be canceled because we'll be in Miami showing at the Apparel Textile Sourcing Show. So if you are in Miami or in the Florida area, come check us out. We'll have a booth there and we'll be speaking. And in 2 weeks we'll be back with a live Q&A. So if you do have any questions for me, start typing them in on Facebook and Instagram using the hashtag AskFAW and I will answer them for you. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We love you. Have a good night. Bye.